So 7. Now, one thing before I discuss like the main bits of this season, this episode, I kind of want to get into like Higuruma, cursed energy, and negative emotions, and how like Higuruma obviously manifesting his domain, sorry, not his domain, his curse technique from that immense mental break. I think there's something beautiful to take from that and map it forward. Well, not beautiful. Well, I guess it is. I think it is. It still does speak to the intricacies of JJK because this is all within the power system. How like the negative emotions and like we see like immense and hyper extreme negative like cases of negative emotions, like in Higuruma's case with his mental breakdown. And you can even go ahead of JJK to Iori and which is Yuta's son, and you could kind of like explain how his negative emotions kind of would have either led to a psychotic break or manifested like as some form of mental illness or helped him manifest like a curse technique. Like we don't really know that much about Iori, but I kind of like the connotations and like implications of just negativity and the world around people leading them into these paths and leading them into like manifesting these things, and how like these cursed spirits are are just like swells of negativity and just being portrayed as monsters. Like it's really obvious, it's really out there, but it's one of those things I just kind of admire, and I don't know, I really enjoy seeing it. I really enjoy like thinking about it. I'm just like, yeah, this is, yeah, because anyway, on the episode, like obviously we get the infamous meme, we get and I like what I do. One thing I really do like is when the lady asks, I think that was either Higuruma's friend or his mentor or from the other place he worked, where they're like, but what about your mental state, Higuruma-kun? And I was like, yeah, because obviously Higuruma became a lawyer within a year of what's called of training. I say training, like taking the exam and everything. But I like how his mental state wavering from overworking, getting abused by his clients, and his fixation on like his mind being solely fixed on what like right and wrong, and like whether his clients are guilty or innocent, and getting them off, and just keeping on going. And this like kind of showing you how toxic work culture can just break you down when you realize that you're doing all this work for an unfair and imbalanced society. And in Higuruma's case, the justice system being corrupt, and that just broke his mind. He was just like, this shit ain't real, And oh my days, like the gavel just manifesting in his hand, and he just being like, man, we doing a fucking retrial. I love that. I love that. I wonder what happened to his. Actually, he did say, "I will go on trial." Like, after all this is over, after the end of the fight with Yuji, he did say, "I'll go on trial for the people I killed." Does that include his friend, or I think that included maybe the victim or something? I can't remember. Or the initial judge. I'm not 100% sure. To be honest, I might rewatch it. But the aura from we're having a retrial. And I love how he uses his gavel. This is me skipping ahead, but I love how he uses his gavel, and obviously he can like after his throwing he can retract it. But it just like the spamming was so cool. Like the spamming was so cool. Anyway, we slip back to obviously the divergent paths, and it's Yuji obviously going to Higuruma and Megumi being led astray. And there is something even further, like just I don't know. I'm reaching. At this point, I feel like I'm reaching, but there's just something more poetic about Megumi being the one going down that wrong path, and what's gonna happen in part two. I'm not gonna like if there's any anime onlys that I haven't watched, that I haven't read, I'm not gonna spoil it for you. But as soon as I saw Remy had deceived him, I was just like, yeah, he gonna put BTA, and I wish he did put BTA on her. The bottom thingy was like it's frying me, and I also love how it's like Higuruma, like after Higuruma's mind has broken and like he's ascended to this plane of power and received this immense ability. He's now going against like social norms, going against like what he once believed in, and going against like societal I don't know, like casual societal norms. Let me say that again. And because you wouldn't take a bath in your full clothes, but at this point, his mind has reached a state where it's like nothing is real, everything is corrupted. So why take a shower naked? Why don't I shower in my suit? I kind of love like it's such a small thing and just out there, but I enjoy it so much. It's really cool. And him like also just being disillusioned with the justice system, with he had just dedicated like a whole year of it, and all that stress, all that sweat, all the abuse he would have taken from his clients, or the people he couldn't get off, like all of that just compounding to this one moment where he's just like, it almost kind of mirrors Gojo's freedom moment, but in a more twisted and down to earth moment, like way. If you see my reach, if you can get my reach. And then again we get the water moments where he's like, where Yuji's talking and Higuruma's just there. I'm just like, like I love Higuruma, bro. Higuruma, so y'all ain't ready for. I don't even know if this will be season 4 or season 5, but y'all ain't ready for season 5 Higuruma, bro. Like he puts in a performance after this. That's what I'm gonna say. I love they did the color palette for this season. Sakamoto Days just need to take a masterclass in Mappa's use of colors, in Mappa's use of contrasting colors, in Mappa's use of tone. They just need to take a class in it, because oh my days, do I hate looking at everything in Sakamoto Days. Like, as I see much better stuff, I'm just like, I cannot stand to look at it. It just, like, the anime just looks so muted, and I just hate it. Okay, I just, like, I've gone beyond the point of being rational. I just don't like it anymore, and I'm glad. I'm glad I'm dropping it. I'm not going for Sakamoto Days. I don't regret that. It is what it is. It's unfortunate, but hey. And as Yuji's about to swing for him, oh my days, Yoiki Tenkai. My only gripe is, I wish we could go back to season 1 when people were saying Yoiki Tenkai slower, because oh my, again, Megumi's Yoiki Tenkai Kanko Anyete. Oh my, bro, there was something like in season 1, everyone was like, like when you said your domain expansion, it was much like A, slower, like B, there was like a weight to it, and I feel like we're like, I guess like Higuruma saying it a bit quickly is kind of like encapsulating the moments and everything, but I miss that like slow kind of spookiness around it, where it's like Reiki Tenkai, you know, that like, and everyone's different voice. Like, I was just like, oh, I love this. Oh, this feels right. You know what I mean?